Coming up on today's Next Fan Up podcast.
Lazarus just wanted to get my attention, but Tom, something took over him. Like a shadow hungry for power, willing to do anything to punish the weaker and claim its own unquestioned superiority. This was the end of everything, more or less. You might as well just say that was like 1999 in the NFL, right? I don't understand. Was there an innuendo in there?
No innuendo here whatsoever. It's the Week 14 previews. Here we go.
You just said it. You just said it, sir. This is on the record. This is recorded. This will be sent to the FBI immediately.
That's how we start! Yeah, baby!
32 superfans.
Where do the reports come from? Did you get an initial?
One PodVader.
That's football.
Every angle of the NFL covered.
All that kind of stuff, I get it.
This,
no question about it,
is Next Fan Up.
We will unleash hell here in December.
Hello and welcome to the earlier than normal edition of the Next Fan Up podcast. Hey everybody, Week 14, and we're coming to you just a little bit early because, well, my schedule said so. It's PodVader here, feeling a little under the weather, but fighting through it. You can maybe hear a little bit of that scratchiness in the back of my throat. The Silent Killer clearly has made its second round through the Vader household, which I am not thrilled about. It means that the first round was not the Silent Killer. It was just a little cold. This one seems to be a little bit of a stronger cold. I don't even know if this is the Silent Killer. But listen, illness is happening. It's happening through the NFL. It's running rampant through locker rooms. We'll get through it. We'll power through. And for all the locker rooms it's running through, better to have it now than have it in the playoffs. Because if it happens in the playoffs, well, you get to go home and hide under the covers and have some chicken noodle soup. With that, I introduce to you the superfans who will go through all of the Week 14 picks with me. And it is our Thursday regular, James from the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, James.
Yeah, Pod, only for you I say this. Celebrate great times. Come on.
Oh, we're going to get into that, but how dare you? I can't.
Other than that, cancel the season. The Eagles can just sit down and just, they can punk out like they did Sunday for the next 4 games. And congratulations, Dallas, on winning the NFC East.
Listen,
Kevin will be real happy.
I would have tried to console you at this particular point, but you triggered me by singing that nasty, horrible song. How dare you?
It's just a party anthem. Get used to it.
The guy who likes to pretend that he's me when he signs into our Uber conference, it's Nick, the Kansas City Chiefs superfan. Hello, Nick.
How is it going, Pod? I am still reeling from my half of the one of the 2 bets we're going to be discussing today, but I made it in anyway.
If you don't know what we're referring to, all you need to do is check Twitter. There's a lovely video of me singing my ode to Patrick Mahomes. Now, Nick, I know it comes. I know people thought maybe I would do it at the end of last season. I would pay up earlier. I feel like the impact of releasing it now was more heartfelt. And honestly, I mean, I think I made some bold choices musically. My 6-year-old neighbor and my 12-year-old daughter accompanying me on the drums, and me having never played guitar.
Oh Lord!
Grabbing the pink princess ukulele.
No.
I feel like I did it justice.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly had the absurdity that I think the whole setup really warranted. Not only that, I mean, for those who also don't remember, this bet, which was launched into very confidently by PodVader a little over a year ago, was Patrick Mahomes would not play as well as Alex Smith in his first year starting. Granted, Alex Smith unfortunately went down with that injury, but I think it was pretty clear that, who would have ended up with a better season there. And it really was this is kind of the culmination of a couple of years of crow that Pod has needed to eat about Patrick Levon Mahomes II. And I recommend everyone go take that, give that a look, send it to your friends, make sure this is what Pod is known for at least a while.
I would also like to add that I did pay up despite the injury to Alex Smith because I could have easily punked out. Said,
Oh, that would have been the punk out of all punk outs.
I could have easily punked out. Alex Smith got hurt. He did not finish his season. Alex
Smith was pacing for 20 touchdowns. He totally would have gotten to 50.
Yeah, totally.
Basically.
Hey, stranger things have happened. The Dolphins beat the Eagles. You know,
don't remind me.
These things occur.
I want to live in an alternate reality where that didn't happen.
I could have punked out, but I did not. I paid up the bet. And quite honestly, while musically I made some bold choices, I feel lyrically that song is spot on. I mean, that is. Oh, gosh. Thank you to Melissa Etheridge, by the way, who also liked the video, which I wonder if she just liked it because that's the only thing you can do on Twitter. I feel like if she could have given it a couple of thumbs down, she probably would have, because I completely destroyed her ode to Alex Smith, which is the inspiration behind the song.
We're very glad that our social media intern knows that we exist.
All right, back to some football-related things. Last week in the Pigskin Pick'em, I only got 9 right, which I thought was extremely lousy, but it turns out everybody was lousy because that was tied for the best for the best result of the week. Power Rankings went to meager 8-8, and versus the spread, I thought I did worse, but no, I did exactly the same. I got 9 wins against the spread too. So, what do you know? I wasn't as bad as I thought because everybody was bad, and when everybody's bad, we all suck. We have playoff scenarios, and here they come. More teams can now clinch different things. The Ravens will be able to clinch the AFC North division title with a win and a Pittsburgh loss. I'm not going to go through ties in those sorts of scenarios. I'm only going through wins. They will clinch a playoff berth with just a straight win or a Houston loss and an Indianapolis loss and an Oakland, Tennessee tie. Basically, Baltimore wins, they're in. And quite honestly, they're winning, they're in.
Yep.
The Buffalo Bills. Let me repeat this. The Buffalo Bills have an opportunity to clinch a playoff berth with a win and an Oakland loss, a Houston loss, and an Indianapolis loss. First of all, that's a crazy scenario, considering who the Bills are playing. They're playing the aforementioned Baltimore Ravens. But the Buffalo Bills in week 14 have an opportunity to clinch a playoff berth. This is headline news.
Yeah, they didn't get the memo at the beginning of the season that they were supposed to tank so you all could just run away with the division, which they're only a game behind you right now for that division.
Trust me, there's a scenario that exists when the Patriots and Bills meet up in 2 weeks. It is for the division title. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not ready for this. The Kansas City Chiefs can clinch their playoff spot before the New England Patriots can, despite the fact that the Patriots had an opportunity to clinch their playoff spot last week with a win and an Oakland loss in this particular week. Nick, spoiler alert, I think you guys are going to do it.
I kind of think the AFC West is pretty much decided now. Going out on a limb.
I mean, sweeping the only team that provided any competition will do that.
The New England Patriots can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a Houston loss, an Indianapolis loss, and an Oakland, Tennessee tie. So there you go. I believe that even if it doesn't happen this week, all 4 of these teams will eventually have a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going too far out on a limb in regards to those teams. In the NFC, the Saints have already clinched. They have clinched the NFC South. In a weird twist of fate, the poor 49ers, my boyfriends, due to their loss, not only have they lost out on the number 1 seed in the playoffs, but they've also lost out on the division and possibly could end up being the 5th or 6th seed in the NFC. Good luck with that. higher seeds. Do you really want to see a 49ers team as the 6th seed in the playoffs? I don't think so.
Yes, you do.
Well, then you're going to lose. But the Niners,
better them on the road than at home.
The Niners will clinch a playoff berth with a win. They are playing New Orleans this week, and a Rams loss, or a tie and a Rams loss. So essentially, the Niners are rooting for the Rams to lose. They are playing the Seattle Seahawks, which is odd because Seattle is currently in first place in the NFC West, and they will clinch a playoff berth with a win. So,
yeah, you can go ahead and pencil in the Seahawks for the playoffs right now.
Yeah, well, I think you can pencil in the 49ers too at 10-2.
Of course, at 10-2, yeah.
They're not missing the playoffs.
I think all the wild card teams in the NFC will have at least 10 wins. So, yeah, anybody with an outside shot, squash it.
Yeah, what's interesting is all the wild card teams will have 10 wins. However, the winner of the NFC East will only have 7.
Oh gosh, who knows? All
right.
To me, the craziest
mathematically alive.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. To me, that's the craziest scenario that's still out there, that Washington has not been eliminated from the playoffs.
That is rather strange and odd.
Winning the last couple of weeks to do that.
Speaking of playoffs and clinching a playoff spot, interesting conversation on our Slack group occurred yesterday that I was very and call me grumpy old PodVader, call me what you will, but I was watching the Seattle Seahawks touchdown celebration, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I really did. But as I started analyzing what went into this celebration, if you haven't seen it, it's on Twitter everywhere. The Seahawks have tweeted it out, but the Seahawks also tweeted out the fact that they practiced this celebration in their practice dome. So they took practice time to practice a touchdown celebration. And my point is, the Seahawks are going to the playoffs. They're playoff contenders. Okay, that's fine. However, it had to take them a good hour to get the coordination down on this touchdown dance. And frankly, I would rather my team spend a good hour on studying film or maybe practicing a play that they drew up on a napkin that they handed to their head coach, like the Houston Texans did. I don't want to see them doing coordinated celebrations and wasting valuable practice time doing it. Apparently, I am in the minority on this.
You are, and I'll say this, and this is just my own 2 cents. I don't think they spent that much time working on it, considering the choreography is in the video they probably watched a dozen times, and probably during downtime in practice where you see players on the side not currently running the reps for whatever is going on, they probably did it then when they're sitting on the side, you know, not catching passes from the quarterbacks, running routes or whatever, when they're not doing the complete offense drills, maybe during the breakdown, doing wide receiver, whatever that they do on the practice field by themselves away from the offense. That's probably when they did it, which is the best time to do it, aside from, you know, meeting rooms or whatever when you're supposed to be paying attention. But I don't take anything from that. I mean, they say they worked on it in the dome in practice, then, you know, whatever. They scored, they got to do it. So congrats.
No, once again,
I will give you that the context matters here, that, you know, we're talking about, you know, a 10-2 Seattle team that is, you know, maybe the best team in the NFC. And so, you know what, whatever they're doing, it's working. It's fine.
Right.
What the celebrations that do annoy me are teams that are like way down in games. Like if this had been like Oakland doing it, celebrating their garbage time touchdown in a at the time was a 38-9 loss just before getting their extra point blocked and run back for 2 more points for the Chiefs. Like that would have been pretty clownish. But you know, the Seahawks can basically do what they want.
That's when I decided the celebration rule is you are only allowed to do coordinated touchdown celebrations if your team is a playoff contender. If not,